Hey guys, Vinny from Shark Fin Shears here. Thank you for tuning in to today's class where we're going to be doing a live haircut, bringing you tricks and tips that you can take this week and use behind the chair. I suggest taking one or two of these tricks, trying them out on a client this week, see how they work out for you. Have fun with it. We're going to have fun in today's class. And be sure to tune in every Monday or check out the YouTube channel so you can see the recordings as well. If you're in today's class, please stay tuned to the end. I want to give you a promo code that you can use on the website to shop around that'll help you out when purchasing a pair of shears. Shark Fin is dedicated to bringing education on the tools that you're going to be using behind the chair. I'll talk specifically about the shear that I use and why I like it. And I just want to let you know, again, before we get started, that Shark Fin has a shear for everybody, whether you're looking for a swivel or a non-swivel, a 5.5 inch shear up to a 7, and the different type of blending shears that we offer as well. There's something out there for everybody, and I want to make sure that you have the tool that you're comfortable with in your hand when you're working behind the chair all day. So again, stay tuned until the end. Thank you for tuning in today. And if there's anything in the future that you would like to see, hit us up on Instagram at SharkFin Shears and let us know what you want to learn about. Let's get started. Hello all and welcome to another Monday class. I'm Vinny here with Shark Fin. If you have been joining us this year, thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed it. We're filming our last haircut of the year for 2024. So I hope you guys had a great holiday season. Happy New Year to you guys out there. And I would like to just share one little bit of advice before the new year comes in. Everybody wants to do New Year's resolutions and come up with all these great ideas on how they're going to conquer the world. But you should too. So you should take a look at your professional career. I would encourage you to look at your personal life as well. What was your win from this last year, personally and professionally? And what are you looking to achieve in 2025? Something that I do with my students in school, something that I'll do every year. And write it down, think it out, and come back to it. Solidify it, come back to it weekly, come back to it daily, remind yourself what you're looking to achieve. That'll keep you focused and on track with your daily decisions on how to continuously improve. So that's my word of encouragement, bringing in 2025. Again, Happy New Year to you guys. Like I typically say, I'm excited for today's class. I have a new client that's coming out. Never cut his hair before. Again, it's been fun having these gentlemen come out that I've never cut, getting to know them a little bit in the chair, trying to figure out what they're looking for, and then the end result is typically coming out well, and something that we agree on is both a suitable haircut, something that they were looking for. So I'm going to bring Doug out and we're going to talk to him in the chair again, figure out what he's looking for. Reminders that new clients, good consultations are going to give you that target. In the first 3 haircuts, you're looking to just hit the target because if you give the client what they want, then it's a good haircut. And then from there, bringing them back into the chair is part of your job. If you want to put food on the table for yourself, or if you have a family, you need your clients to come back to you. So we'll talk about some of those things in today's class as well, and talking to Doug about what he's looking to achieve today. And Doug, you're going to give me an honest thumbs up or thumbs down today, right?
Sure, that's what you want.
All right. So this is what I love about doing these classes. So, all right, Doug, come on down.
All right.
Watch your step and step over there. Cool.
Very good.
Thanks, Vinny. Nice to meet you. Good to see you. Thanks for coming out today. I know you could be doing a lot of other things today, but appreciate you being here. So, tell me a little bit about, we're going to talk about hair first.
Okay.
So, how often
do you typically get a haircut?
Well, my wife cuts my hair usually, and it's probably about once every 6 weeks.
Okay.
I guess I was looking for just keeping it a little bit longer on the top, short to longer on the sides, and short to longer as you go up in the back.
Okay.
So I'll let you do your artistic work on my head.
Cool.
And,
Sweet.
have some fun.
Oh, I appreciate that. So I can kind of see a little bit of maybe what's going on. So this haircut's about 5-6 weeks out right now.
So, yep.
All right. And then you have some curl and some wave in your hair. When you get a haircut, is that typically gone? Is it like short enough where that curl and wave is gone?
It does. I did have somebody just mentioned to me the other day, hey, I see your hair's a little bit wavy in the back. So I guess it's getting longer.
Yeah. So is that that's a sign for you? That like, hey, it's time for a haircut. My curls are starting to come in.
Yeah, it just gets a little less manageable.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so with a house cut or getting haircuts at the house, I'll just ask you, does this tool look familiar to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now there's measurements on the back of this tool. Have you guys ever paid attention to that?
My wife does. I need to pay attention, but she talks numbers, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Any numbers have any? Okay. Cool. Well, so that it's just helpful to know. I'm coming up with a game plan as we're talking and everything. So, how about style wise? You kind of came in, and hair's dry. Do you ever put product in it?
I do a little bit. Yeah, my wife likes some kind of product.
Yeah, sure. And then are you wearing it like kind of forward, and do you kind of have like forward natural kind of messy look? Do you like to comb it over at all, or just kind of?
I pull it forward, yeah. And but my wife and I guess we have different opinions.
Of course.
She fluffs it up at the top, but that's not always my favorite. So
Okay.
I'm open to whatever.
Well, is there a specific way that you'll kind of wear it as well? So you'll wear it forward, fluffed up a little bit?
Pull it forward and pull it up to the top and separate like here, separate there.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So the reason I ask is if we do, you can have multiple styles in a haircut. So a haircut can be cut and you can style it 2 to 3 different ways.
Gotcha.
Sometimes a client will come in and they'll say, I want to change my haircut. I want it to look like this. And really it's a style difference and not really a cutting, I don't have to really cut it differently, so to speak. So that's kind of why I like to ask those questions and everything. All right, so you want to go shorter on the sides, longer on top. It looks like the back is tapered, which means it's just even shorter here. So from the earlobe down to your neckline, I'm going to shorten that up, give you a nice taper. It looks like we're going to keep the body of the haircut on the darker side. So I know you said you're not really sure, but does a 2 or a 3 in here on the side sound familiar at all, or really
2,
not sure? 2?
Yeah.
Great. So anytime we have a first-time client in, I'm going to start on the higher side. We got to clear out the side anyway into the transition area to scissor cut the top. So I'm going to start with a longer guard. You'll be able to see that, and you'll clearly be able to tell me if you want to go, shorter or not. So we'll start there. Any moles on the head I need to know about, or anything that like the clipper might? Nope, we're good.
Yes.
Great, love it. And then I'll hold the glasses for you. And then the last thing I need to know is, can you see without the glasses, or
Not very well.
not very well? Okay, so I'll keep them handy. If you want to pop them off, hand them over to me. I'll take those for you. Great.
Although I'm debating whether to get LASIK surgery. So
Oh, that's on the table right now.
that's, I want to table.
Nice.
Praying about that. Trying to get some information.
If you get LASIK, you can shoot lasers from your eyes. That's what
I heard that. That's wild. All right. And then you were sharing with me that you're a school teacher.
That's right.
So how long are you off for right now?
I've got about a week and a half off. Christmas is on a Wednesday. It's a little bit longer break.
So nice.
Yeah.
That gave you some good time off.
So 1 week from today, we actually go down.
Nice. How have things been going for the holidays for you?
Yeah, really. I've enjoyed it. We've just had a family get together on my wife's side yesterday. It was fun catching up with people.
Good.
And I got my parents and my side of the family got together on Monday.
Okay. I'm going to show you this real quick. So put these back on. This is what I will typically do behind the chair with a new client. All right, so that's cleared out. So that's a 4.
That's 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely need shorter.
You want to go shorter?
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so that's that's perfect. Clear as day. We need to go shorter. Okay, so we're gonna go down to a 2 then. So I'm gonna keep clearing out with this, and then we'll go to a 2. I'll confirm that, so you can pop the glasses off one more time. We're gonna do this once more, but in a minute.
What did the numbers mean? And I don't mean like in the sense of like from
So
a barber perspective, but like telling a client what the numbers mean.
a 4 is a 1/2 inch.
Okay.
So and typically your clipper lengths. All right, pay attention. So typically your clipper lengths guards are going to go from 1/16 of an inch up to an inch, and the numbers is just a number system for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then on the back there's it has it measured in inches and millimeters. So when I talk to a client, I rarely go off of like measurement. People will be like, "Oh, take an inch off the top." Clients have no idea what they're talking about when they say take an inch off. They could hair grows about a 1/2 inch a month. So if they have had a haircut in 4 weeks ago and they want to take an inch off, could be too much. Or maybe they're looking to grow their hair out or they're trying to change their style, and I need to keep the hair longer in the front or on top to get to the desired style that they want. So I loosely will talk. So that's why it's huge for me to ask a client, when was your last haircut? How often do you get a haircut? What are you looking to achieve with your hair today? And it does. At times I've had clients get annoyed in my chair. They're like, just cut my hair. I'm like, well, that's not really how it works for me. If I want you to get what you want, and I can most likely give it to you outside of, having a magic wand and, giving you completely different hair or length. So I want to know what my client's looking to achieve. And if it's within my scope to be able to make that happen, I want to make it happen. It's asking specific questions. This is all information that helps me. I'm not asking it just to ask it. And I think that's a big thing for new barbers to remember. You got to actually listen to your client, and see what information they can share with you that can help you paint a target. Early on in cutting hair, visualizing the end result is very difficult. So the more clarity you can get from a client in the beginning, I think the less anxiety you're going to have behind the chair, and it'll actually improve your time because you'll be able to move faster because you're confident.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, is he going to like it? I don't know. Is this the right ask him. If you don't know if it's the right length, do what I just did.
Yeah.
Start higher, cut it. Doug was like, oh, no, we got to go way shorter. Great. Now I can, but I still set myself up for the stage of transitioning on the top. Mm-hmm. So even if we're going to go shorter, he hasn't had a haircut in 5 weeks. I've never cut his hair before. I cleared it out. I have a cleaner canvas now. I can actually I can see more of the density. Doug's got great density. He's got medium thick hair. So that's good hair to work with.
I'm wondering because like he like a client that gets a haircut at home typically may not know like what a 2 8
Yeah, well,
So that's what I was wondering how you explain that to
so that's why the question's sorry, is super loose.
yeah.
So, do you know what number it is? I'm assuming he has no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already assuming that. Because I have clients that I've been cutting for 5-6 years. They come in, if they sat in someone else's chair, they would be like, I have no idea what Vinny does. So it's not really because it's a house cut or anything like that. But if they can give me any information, why? Because if they go to a barbershop and he gets a haircut with a rotary, this is going to cut tighter.
Yeah.
So if he said I get a 2 and my client and the barber cuts me with that tool, okay, well now I have more clarity, so I can move with more confidence.
Yeah.
Right? It's a trust game. So if I can ask questions that give me an end result, and I can build trust with my client along the way, then they're most likely going to come back in. And if they're most likely going to come back in, then I can stay a barber and I can stay making money. It's not that complicated. It's just a habit that we have to do. New clients it's great cutting new clients. I feel like it's easier to roll out the red carpet for them. Clients that I've been seeing for 6 to 10 years at this point, I just have to stay extremely consistent with them in, just that relationship that I have with them, my professionalism. When you get a new client in and you can, if you ask these questions and take your time, especially in this day and age, no one's getting customer service like that. Just that alone, my haircut could be decent. Right? Just that alone will bring a client, back in, and like explaining like what, Des was asking, well, what do the numbers mean? And just taking a moment to even clarify that and stuff. So, yeah. All right. So earlier we did here, take those, Doug.
Yeah.
Doug is trusting me today, which is huge. I already thanked him for that. So, all right, that's the 2.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay,
Yep.
are we getting closer, or do you and feel it a little bit? Like take your hand.
Yeah.
Does that feel?
I wouldn't do any shorter.
Okay.
That feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Love it. I'll take those. Now, Doug did say in the beginning, this is what I do. But I'll trust your artistic ability and creativity. Now I can be creative with, the base that I have, and what is going to fit Doug, his lifestyle, and things like that. So the 2's the base, the 4's the transition. We're going to scissor cut the top. He wears glasses. So this is big. Anybody that wears glasses, if you're not tapering down, you wear glasses all the time, Doug.
Most of the time.
Okay? So what happens is, over time. Really? Jeez, man. All right. Over time, the arm of the glasses, you'll see this, are gonna indent the skin on the sideburn and then behind the ear. That's gonna wear away at the hair. Or the other thing
Can you
is,
see that on my head?
yeah, yours actually isn't that bad. So you wear glasses that are like the arm is slightly off the head,
Okay.
but I can tell exactly where the armband goes right through your hair.
How about it?
So what I'm going to do is, my professional recommendation is I'm going to taper out the sideburn so that as the hair grows in on the side, it's not going to grow over the armband of the of the eyeglasses, and that'll present a very clean and sleek look for John. I don't have to go down to skin in the taper. I don't know if that would be, or like bald it out with the foil shaver, but we're going to go pretty tight. It's actually going to make the 2 look a lot better because we're going to create that light to dark look in the taper area, and it'll give his haircut a little bit more dimension. These are the things where when someone comes to you and you're adding these little things, they're not going to know why, but they are going to look at the haircut and say, it just looks better when so-and-so cuts my hair. And these are like the little subtle things you can kind of pick up on to kind of help you with that. So, all right, so let's finish up this too. Doug likes that. Now the hair in the back kind of already has a natural taper to it. So I'm going to pay attention to, we have dark in here. It gets real light down here, which is typical. Hair in the taper areas, but earlobes and below. And on the temple are very light density-wise for men. So knowing that, I don't have to do a lot in the taper. But we are going to touch it up.
So your cameraman is married to my daughter, and your mom, Vinny, actually used to come to our house to help with our kids.
I know. How funny is that?
Yeah.
So this is like, we're like almost meeting in a second life right now.
Right.
So was I at the house a few times?
I was probably working. Sure, so I have no idea.
It's cool. It's amazing how full circle things can come back, right?
Yeah. Why?
And I mean that had to have been 20 some years ago.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
I remember seeing you running around at church.
Yep. That's awesome. I recently just ran into one of my friend's mom from school way back, and it was funny. She shared a memory with me that I did not remember at all, but it was like, it's pretty funny. It's always good to hear like stories of old and whatnot, little things I don't remember.
Realize that we're maturing in life.
Yeah, that'll help you.
Hopefully, anyway, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Age does not mean maturity sometimes. Yeah. All right, just touching on this. So we had the 2. I cleared again with a 1.5, and then kept the 1 because of the light naturally after taking all that length off, how this kind of lightened up. Going in with the 1.5, I tried to take this dark spot out a little bit because it was like dark, light, dark. And so kind of playing illusion work with the clipper where I'm putting it, cutting it out, and then open no guard, but just about a finger width down here. Not taking it up too high. I want to keep this real natural for Doug. But again, just having this grow in real nice for him. So we'll take that same theory over to the temple here and clean up around the outline, move to the top, and then we'll transition. So, you want to share anything? I don't know. What do you do in your personal life, Doug? What do you got going on? You into sports or any hobbies or?
Yeah. Well, I'm a school teacher. I've been teaching 31, but almost 37 years.
37 years.
Yeah. So contemplating the best time for retirement.
Okay.
Which is exciting. Yeah.
So we're going into a new chapter in life?
Yeah, and I'm praying about that. There's a million ways you could go.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm not sure exactly what that is, but excited about what God has for us. Yeah.
Nice. So that's still on the table then? Not entirely sure?
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Could be this year, could be next year.
That's right. That's right.
When do people typically when would you kind of need to make that decision? As like a school teacher, like
Well, in my district, there's a small money incentive if we let them know by mid-January.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, it gives them time to prepare.
Exactly.
So nice. Now, have you taught many different levels of education, or?
Most of my career has been fifth grade. I've taught a little bit of seventh grade. Let's see what else. And third grade for 5 years I taught.
Okay. Did you have they all been, good in their own way? Was there a certain age group that you particularly enjoyed teaching, or?
I love fifth graders. They're old enough to teach a little bit more higher level science, math. But they're not.
Haven't moved
They're
into
not,
that.
They're not quite into that cocky age. Cockiness of middle school.
The I know it all. Don't tell me nothing.
Sure.
Phase. Yeah.
I
Gotcha.
get to that phase until I was an adult.
That's funny, man. That's funny. Yeah, I remember those days.
So, you yourself, you transitioned from a gym teacher to a hair cutter.
Yeah. So.
Did you find that hard? And like, how did you get trained on cutting hair?
Man, that's the hard. Yeah. So I'll share this, especially on here. I apprenticed with one other guy. So it was me and another guy that apprenticed in the barbershop, and they didn't think I was gonna make it. Skill wise, I was a late bloomer with cutting hair. To be honest, I approach a lot of things like I gotta understand it. I would crush my mentor with just questions like all the time, and I think like a lot of things, haircutting it's part science, part art. When you learn the rules, you can start to break the rules. Breaking the rules creates the art aspect of it. But man, when I was and my trainer was so good at cutting hair. I mean, he was skilled with like the things that we talk about here on like understanding your tools, knowing what you're trying to achieve with your tool, knowing that you can achieve different things with that tool because you understand how it works. Like he would be cutting and trying to teach me as if I had experience, and the gap was just so vast for me. And so anyway, I would just watch and ask questions and ask questions and ask questions. So that was difficult. That part was difficult. And one of the things I share with like my students and people was in order to be a barber, you got to have clients. And I'm very sociable. I can talk to anybody. So I was able to get by with that in the beginning. I was able to get by with my ability to connect with people, my level of customer service, and what we were talking about earlier. I was able to get to the client to a finished result that they liked, that was suitable for them. And then it's funny, like now I have clients that have been with me for 6 to 10 years, and they know my haircuts have evolved over time. But what was kind of cool was in the beginning when I was starting out and my haircuts were okay at best or whatever, their expectations weren't what I can do now. So they kind of grew with me. Like my clients, their expectations and my skill level, it kind of all grew together, which is nice. And we laugh now. I'll be teaching and they'll be like, I remember when, my brother was my mentor. He's like, I remember when your brother used to yell at you for that, and I remember when you took an hour on my hair, and all this stuff. So, some of my clients are very good at keeping me humble, to say the least. But
Well, you must have developed a good relationship with them.
yeah,
And they stuck with you. And,
yeah, we do, and that's why I mean, my job from that standpoint is amazing, and I'm blessed. Like this, and the holiday season is just a good time to remember that with my clients. It's a good time to thank them, just with sticking with me, and they show a lot of gratitude around the holidays, which is nice. So the training part, not so hard. I will share. I was 26 years old, transitioning over. All right, guys, real quick. I'm going to take a quick pause. Des, you going to punch in on this? All right. So, without cutting Doug's hair before, knowing it's been 5 or 6 weeks, the hair at the end kind of tells me it starts to curl right there. I would say, Doug, without cutting your hair before, I would say your hair grows on the faster side. Or would you be able to speak to that?
No, not really. I don't know I'm not sure how I compare that to others.
Okay. Because I would say it can, if you're 5, 6 weeks and cutting it down like this short or around there.
Well, it's probably more like 6.
Yeah, 5, 6 weeks, and your hair's growing like this. Your hair grows on the faster side. So as I'm combing up and cutting it, I can see the ends are kind of telling me where they're curling, and they start to thin out. Not necessarily dead ends, split ends, but the ends are just getting thinner. I'm gonna start there, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna scissor cut the top. We'll give Doug a look, see if he can tell the difference, and then we'll kind of go for there for the confirmation and everything. So, all right. So I transitioned to barbering when I was 26 years old. That was difficult. And I see it with my students right now all the time. So that's why I kind of want to share this with people. Des, you can pop out a smidge. Doug, can you bring your chin up so it's level with the ground? Down just a little bit. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. So I left my full-time job, got a serving job 3 days a week. I worked 4 to 11, sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning. I had to be at my apprenticeship the next day by 7:45. I lived an hour away, so I was driving about an hour to get to my apprentice program. I didn't get paid for my apprenticeship for about 12 months. So it was just what I was making serving. If I wasn't serving and I wasn't at my apprentice program, then I had my backpack on with my clippers in it. I lived in the city at the time, and I would get on my bike. I met a lot of people serving and bartending, and once I got it was tough, but once I got some of the confidence to go cut, or I trusted people enough to cut their hair, and I wasn't given the best haircuts, but I was on my bike riding around the city, popping into people's houses, doing kitchen cuts. And
Is that a popular thing?
no, it was just like I just kind of had to.
That's great service.
I needed the experience. Well, I got on the bike because driving was just not happening in the city. It was easier to hop on my bike and get to someone's house. So I did that for about a year, and I see that with a lot of my students now. They're in school for 6 hours a day with us. They have a part-time job, and they're going 6-7 days a week right now for 10 plus months trying to get into a new career. So it's that aspect was difficult. I was married at that age, and I had a lot of support from my wife. At times, once we kind of started getting into the year mark, it was kind of like, okay, what are we doing? Are you going to start making money? You're kind of working these crazy hours, serving and all that. But Yeah, it was all worth it. Anything with that amount of work and putting that type of time in, it's worth it. But yeah, it took a while. So I commuted for my apprentice program. I commuted for 3 years, and then I was finally able to move closer to where I work, and that's been nice. So yeah, there was a few hardships, obviously, but I just had this goal and a vision and followed through with it, and I've shared on here like that's what led me here with the shark fin family, the time and opportunity, seizing other opportunities, and then being able to excuse me guys, meet shark fin and be here to teach. It's such a privilege, and I've enjoyed it. It's been nice. So yeah, everybody's got their story. Common in the stories, making tough decisions to put the work in to get to where you want to be. And then seeing opportunity as it comes. And that's what the teacher in me and knowing what it takes and seeing people start this journey. We can't, as teachers, Doug, we can't do it for them.
Right.
We wish we could at times because we know how difficult it can be, but they gotta choose their path a little bit, put the work in, and they'll get the benefits from it. So yeah, you got any advice for students out there? I mean, that I'm gonna put you on the spot, but as a teacher for what did you say,
37 years.
37 years? Yeah. What's your advice on that?
For students, yeah, well, try to look into the future, how this could help you. I think a huge part of being a successful student in personal life is learning that you can learn from others, whether it be grandparents or parents, and to be respectful. And that's just going to take you so far because, like I hear you saying, Vinny, you asked a lot of questions, and the students that are asking questions and taking their education into their own hands in a way are really going to benefit.
Yeah, my favorite quote from my teacher when I was growing up. She was my math teacher. I was like failing this class, and she said to me, just like really helped me out. She was like, "Don't be afraid to ask questions. You got to be a fool for 5 minutes, or you can be a fool for."
I was just gonna say that. That's awesome. Fool for 5 minutes or a fool for life, man.
Yes.
Where do you want to be? So if you guys are in school right now, and you're standing around and your instructor's trying to teach you something and you have a question, you don't want to ask it because of the other students in there, get over that, man. Nobody cares. I mean, honestly, it's not, and you might be asking a question that someone else has, so somebody's got to speak up. So be that person. You're paying to go to school. You're there for 5 to 8 hours depending on what state you're in and everything. So it's your time. If your time's valuable, you're paying money. It's your time, so use it. That's what I tell my students. What are you doing for 6 hours while you're here? Because I'm giving you opportunity to practice stuff. What are you doing with your time? As instructors, I hope your instructors are there and willing and able. And if they're giving you that opportunity and you're not seizing it, you're missing out on a lot. I want to point out something what I'm doing before we go much further. You guys got to know where you're at in the haircut and what is normal. So all this hair that needs to be, this is all transition area. So this weight, this length, that is from taking the 4 to this certain spot on Doug's head and then cutting the top shorter left, some length in here and weight that needs to be manipulated. And that's where this, the transition and your shear over comb is going to work. Why do we go shear over comb? Right now for me, with this haircut, and I'm going to get real detailed now, that's why we're going to go shear over comb, because this is polish work. So at this point, it's about what you leave on the head. All right, so before we're taking 6 weeks of length off, and now with Doug's hair type, head shape, what we've done, there's going to be these polish areas where we need to remove length, but in order to keep the structure of the haircut, we need to know what to keep. So we're going to go in and polish. As you can see, I've transitioned from the wider side of my comb to the tighter side. I'm going to get way more detail with the tighter side. I'm going to be able to cut smaller sections to really get a smooth blend. I'm not knocking anybody right now, but I am going to say this is a point where people would take their blending shears and they would start to smash hair until it came out the way they wanted it to. All right? If that's where you're at and you need to rely on your blending shears a little bit more, so be it. I am going to show you some more finer scissor work right now. Again, I have my 6 1/4 double shark fin shears. The hair, I did wet the top when I cut it. It's more on the dry side right now. It's Doug's hair dries pretty quickly, actually. So I'm gonna clear a little bit more hair that actually needs to be cut. It's length that needs to be removed. Again, building into the length up top, keeping that shape that I made for Doug, keeping length where I need it, and then moving to the tighter side for what we call polish work, fine tuning, whatever. And this is a part of every haircut. You do not make it through your first 5 steps and everything comes out perfect. This is still a part of every haircut that I do. Now, along the way, because my clipper control has gotten better, because my top cutting has gotten better, I have less polish work to do. Yes, that will get easier. As your skill improves on steps 1 through 5 or whatever you want to call it, you'll have less to polish at the end. That's a huge sign of improvement in your barbering career. But this is still polish work is still the final step for me on all my haircuts. I feel like I need to share, this is a part where people would most likely move into clipper over comb. I would not. Clipper over comb is in my repertoire. It's in my toolbox. For this haircut, I'm not going to use it. With what needs to be polished and how little, I want more detail. I want to work with a finer tool. Clipper over comb. You're going to be working in most likely bigger sections in order to get the polish work. I think it's a little tougher. If you can do it, that's great. I'm not going to say you can't do it. However, for this haircut and this finish, I think shear work is going to be the best option. The other thing, I want to work in small sections. The 6 1/4 will allow me to do that. So I'm going to use about 1/3 of the shear, and I'm focused on the length of the comb from the end inside. That's about the length of my fingertip to my second knuckle. Anything within that range is going to be very controlled. And I'm bringing my guide from the right all the way around to the left, so I never have to guess after I started that initial section on that front right side. If I need to at the end use a little bit of blending shear, I will. like I was saying earlier, I just don't want to rely on that for the entire process of polish work. So what I would, in order to do this while in a haircut, I would suggest you guys practice different scissor exercises that will allow you to perform this while giving a haircut. This is not something that if you need a lot of practice on, I would suggest practicing on just a live model. So you got to show up for game day ready. So you got to put the work in to be able to do this. So you can do some individual scissor exercises with just a scissor and a comb in front of the mirror, practicing keeping that still blade on the spine, isolating your thumb to get proper movement. Grab a mannequin head, work on just being able to follow a guide, working in smaller sections. And then if you have a client that comes in and you have a haircut like this and you have a different approach to it, but you want to practice this, then practice it in a segment, in a small section. If it's working, stick with it. If it's not, get a little bit of practice on your live model and then go back to your regular process. And that just that little bit of practice will be super helpful. But if you're only practicing this once or twice a week on a model, it's going to take you forever to kind of nail this down. So, all right, so here's my polish work. Here's the length and weight has been shifted higher. I like it. If it's combed straight down, you're going to see more of that weight. Doug's most likely going to wear his hair forward, so I do want retain some of that length, because if I remove too much of it, then his head's going to become cone shape. It's going to go up, in, and then into the peak, because the apex is at the highest point here. And we're narrow in the parietals and towards the top. So I want this shape to remain, but I want to soften a little bit of the weight line. And now this is where I will use that. So we're going to go in with a texturizing shear with between 28 and 35 teeth. This is going to, I'm going to go stay just above maybe mid shaft of the hair. Controlled cuts. Again, just about the width of like your nail to your second knuckle. And you can see now it's less bulbous, less helmet-like, but I have the length there to keep the shape that I want. And that's the blend that we're looking for from short to long hair. So where I see bulk and weight, again, going in further than the ends, but not below the mid shaft of the hair. I don't want to destroy the hair towards the root. If I wasn't removing bulk and I was just blending between my clipper and scissor work, I'd grab my 40 tooth blending shear, and we would just kind of stay on the ends of the hair. This is typical polish work in this area as well. So in my toolbox, I always have my 6 1/4 double shark fins. I got my blending shear for debulking, or my texturizing shear for debulking, and then my blending shear to create that smoother transition between clipper and scissor work, which I'm going to use now. All right, so last thing I'll go over, I comb the hair straight. I want to know that my haircut's even. This is a balanced haircut. Doug can wear it to the right. He can wear it to the left. He can wear it up. He can wear it straight. And it's going to be blended all over the place. This is a haircut that will allow Doug to have multiple styles and won't sacrifice the haircut. So, Doug, now I want you to run your hands through it, mess it up, because I know you're not going to wear it like that. So give me your take on it. While Doug's doing this, I'm going to be looking at where he shifts the hair, and I'm going to be looking for length and weight I might not like to further go in and maybe polish it up. I'm kind of digging the way that he just styled it. And then, so what's your overall opinion? I told you got to be honest. So thumbs up, thumbs down. Love it, hate it. Looks great. All right.
Great, and thankful for it, and yeah.
Cool. Well, again, appreciate.
And I could be versatile with it as well.
Yeah. This is a low maintenance haircut that can be dressed up. So what I mean is, I know you're a school teacher. I'm sure when you're going to school, kind of looking a certain way to be presentable, professional, and everything. If you want to doll this up, you're going out or going to a wedding or something like that, you can certainly style it up a little bit more. And then your everyday life, like you just did, you should be able to just kind of wake up, brush it around a little bit.
Low maintenance.
Yeah, low maintenance, man. It's fine.
Go out on a recess duty. I could put a hood on and come back and
Love it.
up, and I'll be in business.
Yep. That's what we're. Yeah, exactly. Love it. All right, we're just going to take out a little bit more bulk towards the top with the length that we kept here. Do you like the length up? Are you happy with the length up top?
Yeah. I wouldn't go much shorter. I think it's probably perfect.
All right, great. So this is just going to remove some of that bulk look that we have towards the back. That's all. I'm not taking any more length off here. So. Great.
So how many kids do you have, Vinny?
Oh, at home?
Yeah.
I say at home because sometimes the students are 3. I have 7, 5, and 8-month-old. So
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's been nice. My son was on here earlier with me. We just did that one. We kind of did a show on approaching like a young gentleman's cut and different tips for cutting kids' hair and whatnot. And then we did a pretty cool. He has a mullet right now going on, so we did a class on the mullet, which was nice.
Just as an age as me and my siblings are.
Yeah.
Because are your 2 sons, are you 21 months apart?
About yeah.
Yeah. I'm 5 years older than my younger sister.
Yeah.
That'd be wild.
Yeah, that's how my family structure is too. So, yeah, it's been a good year. We had a great Christmas. So, looking to just move into 2025, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. We'll talk about it.
I'll enjoy it.
Well, did I hear you got a trampoline in the?
Yeah.
Let's get a trampoline.
Yeah, I'm gonna sign off and I'll talk to you about
All
that
right.
because that's a whole story.
All right.
That's a whole story. So
That was probably one of our best investments with our kids. We got a lot of mileage out of the trampoline.
I hope it is.
Yeah.
We were already on it for 2 hours.
Yeah,
Jumping around and doing all that stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, so it'll be good. All right, guys. Thank you again for a wonderful year. Thanks for trusting Sharkfin to provide some education. Same thing goes as all the other classes. If you want to reach out to us, education@sharkfinshears.com. Sharkfin Shears on Instagram. DM us, send us an email. Any feedback is great. We would love to hear from you. If you're stuck around for today's class, if you're looking to get an individual pair of shears, please go on sharkfinshears.com. Shop around. We have something for everybody. Be specific about what you're looking for. I have the 6 1/4 specifically for what I do day to day. It's my go-to shear. We have 5 1/2 up to 7. We have swivel and standard handles and everything in between. So please take a look at that. If you're looking to grab something for yourself, use promo code VP20 at the end. if you're a school looking to bring a student cheer kit in and you haven't had anything, send us an email. Let us know what you're looking for. We can take care of that. And then when you go to make your first purchase, use VP10 for 10% off your entire order. Guys, thank you for a wonderful year. We'll see you in 2025, back mid-January, bringing you guys the same cuts and quality. So looking forward to that. Take care. Say bye, Doug.
Adios.